day, good people. Today we are continuing where we left off, market patterns, market pattern recognition as well. So should be interesting. So now why do we have to do this? Why do we have to know the patterns? Okay, is it any important? Should we actually do this? Okay. Yes, does not matter what strategy that you're gonna be using after all, but definitely it'll be good for you to actually know or recognize these patterns. Okay, you must know these patterns. You must recognize it. Now at the moment you must see my my whiteboard. Okay, you must see my whiteboard. So basically these patterns are like, by a pattern I actually mean that it's things that we see over and over and over again. Okay, now if something has a pattern, right, then that thing you can come up with a strategy because you know there is patterns, right? So there is hope from there that, okay, fine, now that I know that there is a pattern that might play out like this or like that, I can actually strategize and come up with something very useful, that something that can monetize and stuff. So now, this form of analysis is called technical analysis. Okay, we are looking at the behavior of price, the patterns of price. Okay, because these patterns repeat themselves due to the fact that this market involves buyers and sellers, right? And every time you have buyers and sellers, you're gonna have some form of patterns. Why? Because people think almost in a similar manner, right? People think in the same way. Okay, so yeah, that's why you get these patterns. Okay, even in the forex market, you're gonna get buyers and sellers. If you are selling GDP USD, someone wants to buy it. Okay, someone is buying that very same thing. Okay, now brokers, what they do, they actually connect the buyers and sellers. Some brokers actually buy it from you. Okay, when you are buying it, when you are buying something, they're gonna sell it to you themselves or buy it to you sometimes. Depends on the broker. Now, I'm not here to talk about the brokers. I'm here to talk about why do we do technical analysis, and why does technical analysis work? Okay, reason being, if like people think in a similar manner, I'll just draw some price points here. This is the price of a car, right? Now, a car, I'll call it car USD. I think if you are buying the car, you're selling it. Yeah. Okay. So if you are giving away your USD, you are buying a car. Okay, makes sense. Okay. Now this car, the price point can be like, okay, $1,000, $1,000, 1,500. I won't do the whole thing. It'll just consume time. I want you to understand something when it comes to why do we have patterns in the market. Okay, I hope I'll be able to get this point across very easier. Okay, $2,000, $2,500, $2,500. Let's say $2,700. Okay, $2,801. Okay, and $3,000. Okay, so why do we get patterns in these prices? Whenever people are involved, people think in a particular way. It's called psychology in a way. Okay, whenever people are involved, okay, you will get a general way of thinking. People will think in a certain way. Okay, let me just mute everyone. Okay, hello to those who just joined. Nope. All right. So this is the price of the car. If you look at this, okay, trust me, people are more comfortable buying or selling this car. It's $3,000 here, more than here. Generally, this price is more appealing. Okay, that's how people think. Okay, just because it has like more zeros, it's a square up price. It's a price where you'll get more comfort. That's why generally, if you see a price that looks like this attractive, like that way, you will tend to see that level as maybe it might be a support or a resistance, okay? Because people are more comfortable around those prices that are of interest, okay? That's why people are like, at this price I'm entering. So whatever makes the price more appealing to people, whatever makes the price more appealing to the people will make that level a more of a point of interest, okay? And then in a complex way, it's going to form certain patterns, right? I don't care whatever you are using, but as long as a lot of people are finding that price attractive, then they are going to, something is going to happen around a level. It's psychology, okay? Generally, that's why you are going to get these patterns happening over and over again. It's because of the way people think, okay? It's because of the way people, that's just one example showing you exactly what happens. You know, even to yourself, right? If I'm selling a product, it will be weird for me to just say, oh, this product is it's a 947 rands 20 cents. That price is not appealing to people. People will be like, it's not square up. But if you say it's 1,000 rands, people are going to be like, oh, okay, I can just, you know, it's much more it's more of a price of interest in a way. You understand? So anything that will make that point interesting will be more appealing to the people. Now let's get back to the Forex market. I don't want you to see the Forex market as something different. I want you to see it as a market, okay? Buying and selling. It's not anything different. It's nothing special. It's buying and selling. Don't be confused by the fact that things are happening a bit faster or whatever. It's the same thing, buying and selling, okay? Now let's get to it. The patterns themselves, okay? So trust me, people will talk about a lot of different patterns day and day. Honestly, it's usually the same thing. They can call them different names, but they're talking about usually the same thing, okay? You're gonna get what do you call this thing? A channel, okay? Channel patterns. I'll just put them in categories. Channel patterns. These are channels. I'll call them channels, right? Under channels, you're gonna get flags, okay? You're gonna get a flag. A flag is something like this. You're gonna get something like this. Now from here, we're just gonna go to the chart and just recognize, see if we can recognize these patterns. This is a flag, okay? I don't want to say it's bullish, it's a flag, okay? But to distinguish it from the other one, let's say just call it a bullish flag, okay? A bullish flag, right? You don't even have to cram these words, okay? You just need to be able to recognize these patterns on your charts. The opposite of this one, of course, is gonna be your what? Your bearish flag, okay? Your bearish flag, okay? It's like this. These lines I'm just showing you where what's happening. Now, why did I call this a channel? Because you can see there is a channel, right? These lines here, it's like a channel, a straight channel like that. Same here, a channel like that. Okay. So those are my two flags, bullish and bearish flag. Okay. Now let's check more channel patterns. All right, we're gonna have something like just try to look at them so that you are actually able to see them. We're still talking about channels. You can have a channel that is like this. They call it a rectangle. It can be like this all the way, but it's straight. This time around, it's not a flag, it is straight. Okay, this is a rectangle, a rectangular channel. It's a bullish rectangle, right? I don't care what you call it, but just look at the pattern and see if you can recognize it. This is a bullish rectangle, okay? And the opposite, something like this. It's still a channel. It's still a channel. Channel is this, the two lines here is a channel, okay? This is your bearish one, right? This is your bearish one, okay? I hope this makes sense. More channels, okay? This one, remember, we are looking at in terms of continuation. Okay, this is continuation. As you can see, if I say continuation, I mean that this direction after the pattern, we are still going in the same direction. So it's continuing or continuation. Same story. This is continuation. We're still going in the same direction. Okay. The opposite of continuation is reversal. Okay. Now we are still talking about continuation all the way. Even on our flex, we are still talking about continuation. Okay. Don't cram it in terms of it's supposed to continue or what. No, we're no longer, we're not talking about strategies yet. Those were your triangles, right? Let's talk about more triangles. Okay. Okay. Now the difference here is you still have a channel, okay, but it's also called a triangle. But now we're looking at a reversal. Okay, same story on a bullish one. Okay, we are reversing. Okay, sometimes they call this thing a triple top because it's hitting the top 3 times. I don't care how many times it hits the top, by the way. You just know it's a channel pattern, okay, or a rectangle pattern, okay? It's a triple top, this one. The other one is a triple bottom, as you can see the reason why, okay? It can still do this. It is still a channel pattern, okay? In reverse. This one is a reversal pattern, okay? It's a reversal. Reversal with an R, okay? My handwriting is really bad. So that's your reversal pattern, okay? We're still talking about channels. Let's see if we still have more channels. There is way more, but just understand that it's just showing you lines that are parallel to each other, straight lines that are parallel to each other. Nothing more. Okay, now let's talk about triangular patterns or triangles basically. Okay, what do we get there? Okay, under triangles, you guys, I believe you've seen a triangle before. This is the spelling. A triangle. Triangle is this shape with 3 sides. Under triangles, what are you going to get? You're going to get an ascending triangle. You're going to get a descending triangle. Let me just draw a descending triangle. You're going to get a triangle, okay? You're going to get a triangle like this. It's not ascending, it's not descending, okay? Sometimes it can be confused to wedges and everything. We are getting there. On a ascending triangle, you can get something like this, okay? The market is not going to draw triangles for you, but you're going to draw those lines for yourself and see, oh, this was an ascending triangle. In this case, we are looking, it was a continuation, okay? Continuation pattern. This one is descending, right? Descending triangle, okay? Continuation. Why continuation? It was going this direction. It's still going in the same direction after the pattern. Same story here, okay? Same story here. Do not try to cram it in terms of if you see this pattern, it's going to be a continuation. Do you understand? We're not there yet. We're not formulating a strategy yet, okay? We're just talking about the patterns so you can recognize them, right? This pattern is a symmetrical one, symmetrical triangle, okay? Not perfect, but it's not clear if it's ascending or descending. So it's a triangle like that. It can be going up or down, who cares, right? Something like that. All right, let's make it go, let's make it continue like this. Okay, this one is also a one of the pattern, continuation as well. Okay, continuation pattern, right? We are getting something like that. Okay, I don't care which side it breaks out of, okay? Just recognize the patterns and so on. And then now we did testing, other traders did some testing, and then they realized, you know what? This pattern breaks up more than it breaks downwards. This pattern breaks downwards more than it breaks up. So we are going to characterize them in terms of it's a bullish triangle, or ascending triangle is bullish, descending triangle is bearish, because it tends to break downwards more often. Not that it's definitely going to break downwards. No, this ascending triangle can just break downwards like this. And then you're like, well, what's this? Yes, it's possible. Okay, so most of the time it's going to break up outwards. Okay, I think about 67% of the time. All right, those are my triangles. Okay, let's look at more patterns. Now, doubles, okay? The market goes all the way. It hits again. You get a what? A double top, right? Or an M formation, right? So we have a neckline right there. You're gonna see it by the apex over there. That sharp edge there. That's the apex right there. Once it breaks the neckline, it is a double top. Okay. And then remember we spoke about retest. If it retests, it's gonna retest your neckline, and then it leaves something like that. But it's still a double bottom. I mean double top. Okay. Why double top? It's hitting the same level. It's hitting it again, like here. So it's a double top. It's still more of a channel, but I had to separate it. Here is another one. You have a neckline. Okay. It breaks here. It goes all the way. It's a double bottom. Okay. Even if it comes back for a retest to the neckline, we are still looking at a double bottom. Okay. That's pretty easy to see. All right. Now let's look at another one. This one is more interesting, but either way, if you can see this pattern, let me know. Looks like mountains actually. It's more like mountains instead of what it's called. Anyways, this pattern is what? Head and shoulders. Okay, head and shoulders. Why head and shoulders? Like a human being. This looks like a human head, and then the two shoulders of a human, right? So that's what it is, right? It also has what? A neckline, right? It also has a neckline like that. Same story. We also have a neckline. It can come back to retest the neckline. Okay, that's why you need to also identify those necklines. It can come back to retest and leave, or it can leave from there. Okay, it does not matter. But people realize, okay, a head and shoulders. When we test, we realize, no, man, this thing will break downwards more often. At the moment it breaks here, we know that it's gonna go down, right? All the way, right? So due to testing and everything, people realize, okay, these ones are more bullish than bearish. These ones are more bearish than bullish. So to understand the idea there, okay, it's not a definite thing. It's more like we've realized, no, man, it does more. This one is called inverted. Inverted. Okay, inverted head and shoulders. Okay, head and shoulders. Same thing. It's just upside down, right? So that's your head and shoulders. Okay, let's see if we still have more. And then from here, we go straight to the charts and identify our beautiful patterns. Okay, now I want you, when you open the charts, to immediately see something. Okay, to say, oh, I see this. Like it'll just be easy. You won't take even a minute. You just start seeing things. Those patterns are there. Okay, wedges can be something like this. To me, it's like almost the same thing as what we spoke about. It can be something like this. You know, something similar to this. This is so bad. This is bad drawing. Anyways, but a wedge is gonna look something like this. I'll show you. I think it's better on a chart. Can be something like this. This is a wedge. If it can break out, or it can even look like it's going upwards like that. Still a wedge. The market comes all the way. They're called wedges. Okay. That's a wedge, right? All right. Now let's talk about, I think this must be the last one. Now you need to understand this, okay? I won't talk about every other pattern that they named in any other way out there. People are seeing different things and they tend to name them in another way. Remember, you also have those Batman patterns, but if you look at it, you'll see a different pattern and you can call it another name. So that's why I'm saying don't look at it in terms of this is what it is, right? This is called a rectangular pattern. Just name it in a way that as long as you can recognize them, then you'll be good. You'll be good. Okay, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Now we're gonna talk about the cup and handle pattern. This is exaggerated, but we are going to get to the charts. Cup and handle is just a cup and handle, right? Think of it as a teacup, sort of. Okay, it's gonna look something like this. We're gonna find it in the charts there, and then the neckline is here. Okay, that's the neckline, right? Okay, if you break and whatever, then you take your trade and whatever. Okay, that's your cup and handle. Let's see. It can also be upside down. Okay, cup and handle, right? Okay. Now let's look at the opposite of this. It can also look like this. The handle is on your left. Okay. Does not matter how it looks, still a cup and handle. Your neckline is here, cup and handle, right? So now I wanted to make sure that before this meeting ends, we get into the chart and see these patterns and see if we can recognize these patterns. Okay, let's go to the charts, and then if you have a question, make sure that you drop it on your chat box there. I think everyone has access to the chat box, and then we get to I get to your questions. Okay. Back to my charts. Right. Just waiting it up. Let's see USD JPY. All right. I marked a few patterns here. I marked some patterns here. Let's see. What are you seeing there? Let's start this side. Okay, so this is more of a wedge. As you can see, this is more of a wedge. The almost I think second last pattern I spoke about. This is more of a wedge because not a perfect, it's not, it will have been a channel, but it's not straight parallel lines. As you can see, it's more like it's going towards an apex, but it never gets there. That's what makes it a wedge, right? Okay, that's a wedge. I'm sure you are seeing things here already. Okay, what does this look like to you, right? What does this look like to you? Like you can always see these things. This is a head and shoulders, right? This is your head and shoulders, okay? And remember, similar to in real life, you won't have people with equal heads and shoulders, right? It won't be as perfect as you'd want it. Okay, here's another one. Okay, here's another one. Head and shoulders, right? Head and shoulders, same pattern, right? As you can see, chances of this pattern also going in that direction, intended direction, are also pretty high. Okay, pretty high. This was our wedge. I'm just trying to find something that we haven't said anything about. This is pretty much it looks like a channel to me. This is like a nice small channel because the lines are equally spaced. If you look at them, they are like equally spaced. So it's more of a channel, okay? It's not a triangle or anything, it's a channel, right? And look at it. It'll look to you like what? We spoke about this pattern. Okay, the market came this direction, it formed this, and then it went in the same direction it was coming from. Okay, it's a continuation pattern, but what did we call it? Okay, a bearish flag. We called it a bearish flag. Here's another head and shoulders. Okay, head and shoulders, shoulder. Remember, we also had this thing of a neckline of head and shoulders. That neckline there, just connect these things, and then you have a neckline, right? Just connect them and have a neckline. Okay, they are so easy to see. The moment you open the charts, you start seeing patterns, right? This way, you are going to develop some form of an instinct, okay? In a way, right? You're going to develop an instinct, and that's good for you. That's good for you. It can be bad for you, but it's good for you. Here is I would call this a triangle, the symmetrical triangle we spoke about, this one, okay? This is more like a symmetrical triangle. This is more of a wedge, okay? This one is a bit more perfect than this. This is a wedge, okay? This one is a symmetrical triangle, right? Now let's find, if you see something, just let me know, okay? My eyes are not as perfect. Okay. I'm trying to find patterns that we haven't seen yet. Okay, here's something. So neckline can be inclined. Yes, it can be inclined on head and shoulders. Yes, that's true. Okay, that's true. Keep in mind also yourself, figure out what really works. Okay, what really works for you, and you can just do that, right? But yes, it can be inclined as well. I'm looking for your ascending and descending triangles. I'm really not seeing. Okay, this one is, yes, perfect example. This one is a ascending triangle, right? Look at it. It's so perfect. It goes this way. Can you see that? And then it goes, this side is inclined, right? This one is horizontal, and then this one is inclined. So we call it an ascending triangle. It broke out here. It came back at the retest. It went up. Okay. but it came back all the way, and then it was a negative trade. I mean, it went all the way down. Okay, so that's your ascending triangle, right? If you see something, do tell me. Do tell me. So far, I see that USDT has a lot of moves on it. Trust me, almost all of them have the same structures. Okay, the same structures. I see this one is it's so easy to see these things, guys, and it's so nice to spot them. So I believe you. If you can see this, let me know. Okay, this is what. Just type it in there. I won't say much. I keep finding the same ones. So okay, let's change a pair and look at a different pair. Okay, let's change a pair and look at a different pair and see if we can figure out more. But a cup and handle, it's so easy to see. Like this will count as a cup and handle. Anything that looks like a cup and handle, it will just count as one. So that one, I don't think is a problem. This one will say, I would still call it a cup and handle. You see, that's small thing there, cup and handle. And then you will enter, or however you enter, goes down, goes against you. Eventually, you will have won the trade. Okay, I'm not giving a strategy yet. I'm just showing you where it can be used. Okay, USD, GDP USD. Okay, let's see. I think I marked it as well somehow. Okay, here's a nice double bottom, but it's too separate. It's still a double bottom either way. Okay, this is a more of a what you call a support. Okay, support. It's a double bottom, right? The neckline will be really far. The neckline will be somewhere here. Okay, but it's still a double bottom either way. All right. If you're spotting something, do say. Okay, do say. Looks like a nice channel downwards. Continuation. I think this will count as our, what you call a bullish flag. Yes, a bullish flag. Let me make it a bit more straight so that you see exactly. I'll use just straight lines like that. Okay. If it does not do this, then it will be a wedge. Either way, it's still a pattern that you recognize, right? Not really that perfect, but it's still a pattern that you recognize. Okay. So the more reliable patterns usually are those ones that are actually looking a bit more perfect. If it's looking a bit messed up, then it's not really that reliable in a way. Okay, here is your head and shoulders, right? There you go, head and shoulders. There you go. Nice double top. Nice double top. Okay, that's a double top right there. Right, this is the top. It came, it hits once, it comes back, it hits again. That's a double top. Your neckline is where? There is a neckline. And is it a coincidence that also if you extend your neckline, it will be somewhere there, right? And one more thing I want to teach you there. In terms of these levels, don't think of them as a thin line. Okay, don't think of them as a line like this. Think of them as an area, right? Not a line like this, right? Think of them as a small or area. Like, okay, let me show you what I mean. Think of these levels as if you have a question, type it in the chat box there. I'll get to you. Objects, rectangle. Okay, think of it as an area like that. Okay, this will help you do a much better analysis than if you think of them as lines. Okay, I understand lines may look a bit more accurate, but we are talking about areas, not your what you call. So from a neckline, it left. It never even came back to retest. Here's another channel, right? A channel right there. Okay. So you wouldn't use a pen like me. I'm using a pen just so it can be faster. We have a channel like that. I will call it a wedge instead of a channel. I will call it a wedge instead of a channel. Either way, we have a pattern. Okay. Here is another one. Let's say this is a triple bottom, sort of. Okay. It's a triple bottom. Object. Okay. We spoke about this. It's a rectangular pattern, triple bottom, right? Now look at this. It's interesting. Very interesting. So this area right here is actually the area of interest. Let me just delete this rectangle and put a smaller one. The neckline of this triple bottom, as you can see, what did the market do? Okay, it came back. I keep talking about the retest. It came back, it left. Okay, it left that box. It came back to retest that very same neckline and it left. Okay, the market does this a lot. Okay, it does the retesting, it does a lot. So people can use it to confirm. Oh, okay, and then I can enter. Okay, if you are more, if you are a bit more conservative, you can do that. All right, you can do that. It helps. Okay, what are we getting here? Okay, I see a lot of flags. This is another flag. Okay, I'm not sure. I don't think this is a flag. Okay, let's check what Nasdaq has for us. Nasdaq also has more interesting patterns as well. I've realized that even though market structure applies to all, they all have different personalities. Yes, that's true. They all have different personalities. Okay, so if you understand the structure, the market patterns, you will know that. Okay, look at Nasdaq for example. Right? What is Nasdaq showing us here? I'll just throw right here. You see this channel right here. Nasdaq likes moving in channels as well. You see this channel right here. It's like almost very predictable. If you place a trend line here, this is a channel, the very same channel we were talking about, right? They all have their own characteristics. They have their own characteristics. Okay, a nice channel there. So you will just keep entering. Okay, maybe let's say you realize the channel, it does this, it does this, does this, and then you see, oh, this is forming a channel right there. And then you will know that, okay, I can still enter somewhere here. I can still enter somewhere here because you already know, you already placed your line and you realize, oh, it's going to do that and over and over again. That's on strategy. We are not there yet. Just going to have to be patient. Look at that. Look at that. I would say this is a nice, sort of a triple bottom. Okay. Another channel right here. Look at this channel. So perfect. Okay. These patterns form due to the psychology of the traders, the people participating in the market. Then they form these patterns, right? Look at this. What will I call this? Okay. I will say cup and handle. Mm-hmm. So in a way, it also gives you the confidence to actually enter the market, because if you are not seeing anything, I don't think you'll be that confident. Okay, you gotta see something and then have that confidence, and then you'll be set. Okay, double bottom, right, with the neckline. That's Nasdaq. Okay. Honestly, I wouldn't say we have more to talk about here. The important thing here is, can you see the patterns? Okay, can you see these patterns? Can you recognize them? Let's go to 4 hours on USD Okay, are you seeing something that you recognize? That's the most important part of it, right? Look at this channel. This is a 4-hour time frame, and you are seeing the same things, the same patterns. Look at this channel. I'm telling you, if I drew a straight line, this is quite straight, it will still fit in perfect right there. Okay, another channel. Okay, when it broke the channel like that, that's it. Okay, it probably came back to retest somehow. Maybe probably here. Let me draw a straight line and just see how it went. Okay, so now from this knowledge, like today's knowledge, you can start thinking about, oh, okay, this can be a strategy. This can be a strategy. For a strategy, it does not have to come up with, you don't have to get it from me. Do you get my point? You can develop something that works on your own because you understand the market. If you understand the market, you can develop anything that works. Okay, that works, right? So you don't have to get it from anyone. Okay, but it's often easier and quicker to get it from someone who's done the testing and everything. It saves you time, but to be honest with you, oh, that's bad. But you see the idea right there. You see the idea. So I feel like I keep doing the same thing, but I see a flag in a way. This is a flag in a way. Okay, whatever you see, it's probably right. Also, sort of a double top. In a way, it's a double top in a way. So I don't care what you are seeing, as long as you are recognizing something, then you are already good. You're already good in a way. Okay. Now this will help us a lot when we develop strategies together. Okay, it's gonna help us a lot. I'm not sure if there is a pattern I didn't show you guys. I'm not sure if we have a pattern I didn't show you guys, but this is an interesting topic as well as all the others, right? I see a nice head and shoulder on. Yes, some of them are really perfect. In fact, this comes in when you are You've already made a strategy from these things that you know, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna trade only the head and shoulders, and it's gotta be perfect for me to enter it. So you know you have your own definition of your setups, right? You know your setups. Now this is also, it comes in handy also in also helping you showing like in terms of exiting and entering, right? Because you know that okay, if this pattern forms, I don't know what this pattern will be. If this pattern forms and it breaks out like that, maybe on that level, I know if I enter there, this is my entry. I put my stop loss above, which is too far, but I still put it above. It helps you decide. You make these decisions using the knowledge of the pattern that you know. Okay, whatever strategy you are using, you are going to have this thing at the back of your mind either way. Okay, it can either be directly patterns that you are trading or a strategy that is far more complex, but either way you need this at the back of your mind. Okay, same thing. I'm seeing something from here. You can plot something from here. It breaks out, it does the same things all over. For me, this is really boring, to be honest with you, but it's quite an interesting thing as well. It's quite boring to actually see the same things over and over. There's nothing else that you are going to see in the market. Okay, but if you zoom in, I will say zoom in, you will start understanding more strategies and everything. Then you'll see that under that shelter that I just built for you, you're going to have some other things. Okay, and we are still going to talk about candlestick patterns, candlesticks that you can actually start recognizing when you zooming in literally. Okay, if you see this candle, what is it doing? What's happening? What is this candle called? Okay, how can I use this thing to formulate a strategy? All right, I'm just going to give you that knowledge, and you'll see what you can do with it. Okay. So there isn't a lot of questions today. I'm assuming it's pretty much easy for you guys. It's pretty much easy for you guys. We're gonna have to meet on the next one. Let's meet on the next class. Okay. Let's meet on the next class. Make sure that you recognize these patterns. If you want to learn more patterns, you can just, I don't know, find PDFs and everything. I think there is really great material out there on these patterns. I'll share them as well, but as long as now that you know what they mean. Okay, now remember the structure is above. Okay, the structure is above, then the patterns below, and whatever else is going to come beneath, right? It's going to come beneath. This is technical analysis. Dalo signing out.